Hello, everyone. My name is Anne Degenhardt, Project Manager at Business Angels Germany, and today we will present you the exclusive interview with Mary McKenna, award winner of the Golden Aurora for Europe's Female Angel Investor of the Year 2023, which I conducted a few weeks ago. What Mary thinks about angel investing and the role of females in the ecosystem, as well as her wishes for the future, find out now.
Dear Mary, first of all, I would like to congratulate again on your title, Europe's Female Angel Investor of the Year 2023. My first question is, you stated that angel investing is a way to keep the ecosystem growing, is far more interesting than just making money. Can you describe your passion for angel investing?
So I'm going to actually answer your second question first here, which is probably a bit awkward, but I think it makes more sense to go in that order. So your second question is, why did you start being an angel investor and what was the key moment? So I think it's important as part of my journey to know that I was originally a technology founder myself. And I am an exited founder. I sold my business in 2014. And that was the sort of jumping off point for me to start angel investing, because as a tech founder myself, who was a woman, I knew how difficult it was from experience raising money and honestly being taken seriously perhaps as a founder in the tech space. So I always had this idea that if I managed to make some money out of my own business and my own startup, that I would use some of it to help other women get started. So I do a very particular type of angel investing. I invest really, really early stage. I'm often the first person to put any money into a business. It's usually pre-revenue and it's usually very early days. The team's very small. And I think, that is kind of one edge of the range of angel investing. It's the early stage riskiest part.
Mhm.
And I suppose at the other end of the spectrum, you have the people who are silent investors who just put money in and they don't really get involved. But I work at that early stage where you do roll your sleeves up and you get involved. And I think, I mean, it's kind of easy for me to say that making people that just do it for making money is a bit sad, but I don't mean it that way. Everybody approaches angel investment from a different
Different
perspective.
angle.
As an entrepreneur myself, of course, I'm going to say that it's making money is an easy thing to do. But actually getting involved and making a difference and helping people takes a bit more commitment. And I guess it's that part that I enjoy. So that's what motivates me, and that's why I started it.
Okay.
I think all of us that have some success in exiting startups have got some sort of obligation to put something back into the ecosystem, because you have to remember that even if people didn't put money into your startup, a lot of people gave you their time and their energy and their advice.
Mhm.
And so the universe demands something back. And you have to do that. You have to be willing. That's my philosophy on angel investing, for what it's worth.
What are the main skills of a business angel apart from the finances? You mentioned some already. How would you rate mentoring, being a sparring partner, being on the same level as your entrepreneur?
You are like a member of their, you can be, if the relationship works well, you can be like an extra person in the team that they can call upon when they need you. And I suppose some of the duties that you may have could be, you could be involved in helping the founders set their strategy. You could help them with their budgets. You certainly should be helping them raise a bigger check. That's part of your job as an early angel investor, is to either go and get more angels that have got more money than you,
Mhm.
or to take them further up the food chain and help them raise from a VC when they're ready for a Series A.
Mhm.
But you could also expect an angel investor to do many other things, perhaps help them with recruitment of a team, because you as an angel might have a much larger network than they have.
Mhm.
And you could help them with things like selecting professional advisors like accountants and lawyers, help them from not making some mistakes when they do that, and maybe even help them with their early sales and possibly introduce them to suppliers. So there's a whole range of different things that you can add into the mix and to bring value as an angel investor.
Mm-hmm. And that would be your second wing next to finance, right? The know-how wing, we call it.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah.
Very important. Very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. It's not only finances, but also the know-how on the other hand. Yeah.
Not every startup has a co-founding team. Sometimes it is a solo founder, and that can be a very lonely place. So if they can find angels early doors that are going to be that sounding board that you mentioned, sparring partner, somebody that challenges them but is supportive too, that's really important.
How does your portfolio look like, and how do you have or do you have a special investment focus?
So my portfolio at this point in time is about, altogether, I've made about 25 investments. They're all early stage. And I had a look through this morning just to see what the sort of state of health of my portfolio is. 4 of them have already gone. So 4 of them, you know how risky it is. 4 of them just didn't make it, and they've already gone into liquidation. I've been angel investing for about 8 or 9 years. One has exited, so that's fabulous. That was about two summers ago. One of my investments has exited. About 3 of them are ready to raise Series A, which is quite exciting. And when I had a look, it is the 25 are a real bit of a mix. 70% are women founders, which I'm really pleased that it's as high as that actually when I counted them up today. And then there's a real mix of health tech, sports tech, ed tech, 3 ed tech companies. I stayed away from ed tech for a long time because that was what my own area of specialism was. So I wanted to go and work in some different areas. But I have recently started investing in really niche ed tech businesses. So one of them, for example, is games for primary school children that go to school in indigenous language schools in North America. So, you know, strange things like that. And then 2 marine tech companies. And then the others are a mix of platforms. 3 of them are not tech. So 3 of the businesses that I've invested in are actually not technology, which was a surprise to me. But sometimes you just see something and you really like the founder or you like the idea, and you just decide to go with it, even though it's not an area that you're an expert in.
And what is the first thing you want to find out getting new startups?
I spend a long time getting to know them, and I think that's important because, as I've learned, you can be together for a long time. You know, some of the investments now I've been involved with for maybe 7 years. So it is important to get to know the founders and to get to know the company before you make a commitment. I suppose I do all the obvious things like look at the product and look at the market size and all of those sorts of things, but I tend to just that's something that I would do before I really engage with the founders at all. I would look at that before I actually really have a conversation with them. And at the point where I engage with the company or the founder, it is all about the founder or the founding team for me. Because so often what they're with an early stage investment, what they're doing at the time that I first meet them isn't what they end up doing, because they pivot. You know, like all startups pivot. So it's about trying to figure out if I think that they have the qualities and the resilience that they're going to need when the market changes, or when things don't go right and they need to, or when a competitor comes along and they need to change, you know, they need to change and navigate through that system. So that's, I suppose, what I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to work out whether or not I think the founder has got what it takes to front the company and to weather the storms that are no doubt going to come down the line.
What is your main learning as a female founder that you took away from it? What can you suggest other female founders?
This is a tough question, actually, Anne.
Mhm.
I thought about this for quite a long time, and I decided to go with something that's maybe slightly downbeat for me. I'm usually really, really optimistic and very upbeat. But I think what I would say for other women that are considering this as a way forward, it kind of looks sort of exciting and glamorous from the outside being a founder, particularly of a tech business. But the reality, I think, is that it's very, very, it's a lot of hard work, and it's quite day to day, it's quite dull, because you end up doing all the things that either nobody else will do, or you can't find anybody else to do. So all those little jobs like that, you end up having to do them yourself. So I suppose my advice would be, it's much harder than you think it's going to be. And I think if you knew how hard it was going to be, many people probably wouldn't roll the dice. However, on the flip side, the prize is so big that it's worth putting yourself through that pain if you're the right sort of personality. You know, it's not for the faint-hearted, and you do have to be there for the long term. There's very few examples of companies that are overnight successes. Everybody always thinks of Facebook and companies like that, but they're the exception. The reality is it is years of hard work, and eventually, if you're lucky, you'll sell it and you'll make lots of money. But even for the people that work hard, that isn't always the outcome. So, do your homework and weigh up the risks. And if you think you've got what it takes, then go for it.
Okay. And have the years of hard work and the big, I think you named it perseverance, like perseverance, that one, and weigh your risks and really, try to work as hard as possible. Is that actually what you want to achieve with or what you teach maybe, or tell your startups in your accelerator SheGenerate? What do you offer them, especially in Ireland? What are you offering to entrepreneurs?
We're a social enterprise. So we call it profit making, not profit taking. And it's a group of friends that have started it. So more than trying to make a financial reward, this really it's a passion project for us. It's a community for women founders, and it's a way for women founders to meet each other and to have a place where they can collaborate. And SheGenerate is an accelerator it's a standard accelerator where we do teach early stage founders all the basics that you would expect any accelerator to do, like the business plan, validation, value proposition, and so on, investor readiness, all of that stuff. But we do it really because we wanted to make a difference, and that's why we've chosen the social enterprise route. We're 3 years in. We've got 3,000 women in our wider community, and our SheGenerate cohort 3 is open for applications at the moment, and we will get started with the next batch of women in November this year. You know what? It's great fun. We have women coming from all parts of Ireland, not just big cities, from all the rural areas too, and all the different counties. And it's great seeing them making connections and growing their business. And we measure all the metrics every month to see how everybody's improving, and it's nice community to be part of.
Yeah, I can imagine. You're actually already mentioned your friends, the friends group. You and your colleagues initiated Awaken Hub. And you say that one of the goals of this social enterprise is making strong and successful female role models much more visible to younger females. In your opinion, why is it important to create more female role models?
Because there aren't enough, Anne. There are never enough. The media and everybody else constantly presents a lot more successful men than they do women. And so it's really important that you find the women, the ones that are alive now, but maybe the ones that have been alive in the past, and you give them a platform and that you promote them so that other people know about them and know about their work. It is that old thing about you can't be what you can't see. So for younger people, if they don't think that other people have done this before them, they don't choose it as a route. Also, in the household, women are the people that make most of the buying decisions, and therefore they should be able to buy products and services from other women, not just from men.
Yeah. What about female angel investors? How do you help them with Awaken Angels? And maybe a bit tricky question from my side. Do you think female business angels need special treatment?
I hate to say this, but I think that they do. Ireland is particularly far behind. I did some research for an article the other day, and I learned that Germany is the European country that has the highest proportion of women business angels out of the business angel community. You've got a very active angel ecosystem that a lot of women are involved in. And I know of networks in Germany that have only been going for 12 or 18 months, and already they have 800 women angels in them. Ireland is very far behind. Nobody actually knows what the stats are, which is a really bad start. Nobody knows what the stats are, so we don't even know what we're working with. But I would say that the percentage is probably less than 2% of the business angels in Ireland are women, sort of active angels. So I think that women make decisions in a different way from men. I think they like to have knowledge and the know-how that you talked about earlier. Actually, they need to know these things, and then when they do, that takes some of the risk out of what they're thinking about, and they can make a decision whether to go or not go. Angel investment is a risky endeavor, and therefore you do need to go into it with your eyes wide open and understand what the risks are. And so joining a syndicate and learning from, if you're a new investor, learning from more experienced people is a way of spreading that risk a bit and making it a little bit less scary. The other thing that we've done is technology has really started to modernize the angel investing landscape. And so if your syndicate has a very efficient platform underpinning it, it takes a lot of the drudgery out of the administration of the syndicate. And what that does is it allows you to reduce the size of your ticket price, your entry price. So instead of people needing to have €10,000 or €25,000 to get started, with our syndicate, they can come in for €2,000, £2,000, £2,000, $2,000. And that makes it more, I guess, more attractive for new investors to try it out and see if they like it. We think that they will. We think that once they get started and they start building their portfolio, they'll be as addicted to investing as the rest of us are.
My next question is that in an interview, you indicated that only about half of what you do is listed on LinkedIn, and yet that you love everything that you are involved in these days, and that makes it less work and more fun. Maybe you can tell us a secret. What is one thing that you do that is not listed on LinkedIn, and why are you passionate about it?
One of the projects that isn't on my LinkedIn, at least I don't think it is that I'm entrepreneur in residence at my local girls' school here in Ireland.
Nice.
St. Mary's College in Derry. I'm their entrepreneur in residence. It's a pro bono position that I've been doing for about 4 or 5 years. I'm not as hands-on as I used to be pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, I used to go into the school one day a month and run workshops for the girls are aged between 11 and 18. Wow. And I used to run workshops for them about starting your own business, careers in STEM, generally thinking about entrepreneurship as an alternative. and answering all the questions for them about their career journeys that their teachers and their parents either couldn't or wouldn't. So building up relationship with the girls that opted to do the entrepreneurship side of things, and then advising them privately maybe about their career choices. So I don't do so much with them these days just because life has sort of moved on a bit. But what I do is I always resource speakers for Global Entrepreneurship Week for them in November. That's my big job. So I go out and I bring them what we were talking about earlier, fantastic female role models, because it's an all-girls school, fantastic female role models to come in and chat to them about career opportunities, careers in STEM, running your own business, things like that. And I think that's really important.
As an award winner, or the award winner this year for Europe's Female Angel Investor of the Year, do you see an opportunity to use the award to increase your ambassador activities as a female investor in Ireland, but also in Europe?
Yes, so I have to say that I am delighted to be the first Irish winner of the award. Very, very happy indeed. I'm not somebody that often enters awards, and it was one of my colleagues that put me forward for this. She didn't really tell me, but once it was in and I was shortlisted, I was very, very excited. And of course, I'm going to use it to promote our mission, and we're really keen to collaborate with other angel syndicates in Europe and with other women's groups. And we've already met a number of them through your organization, and so we're very grateful for that. And yeah, let's put this next 12 months to good use.
What are your hopes and wishes for the angel investing future, especially the female angel investing future?
Yeah, I mean, I dream about a future where women in business generally are equal partners and are taken more seriously and are more visible. You know, the 30% club, not always a great fan of quotas, but that has worked really well for getting women onto positions on corporate boards. Maybe we need something like that in terms of investment as well, not for angels, but for VCs and whatever. Perhaps it's time to think about that. And I sort of dream about a world where women have more control over their money and their finances, and where they have full information about what they can invest their money in. I also think that for women, bringing their professional skills to help other women is a great opportunity. And that whole Women Backing Women campaign, I think, is very compelling for us, and one in which, you know, I really hope that that takes off and grows. And as I say, you know, we're really keen to collaborate with any other European syndicates. So if anyone out there would like to work with an Irish syndicate, please get in touch with us.
Thank you very much for your time, Mary. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Good to see you.
Bye-bye, Mary.
Bye.